A light up phone. It's revolutionary, but I don't think it's going to kill Apple. I've listened to 2 or 3 different long form interviews now with Carl Pei. And after each interview, I am more confused about the direction of nothing, which sounds so stupid to even say. In the words of Carl Pei, smartphones have gotten boring, and it's his responsibility to conquer Apple. It's his responsibility to create the Apple fighting ecosystem as a startup, which kind of doesn't make sense because that's not how Apple themselves create their own ecosystem. And Carl Pei himself also talked about how for the last year, he's been using an Apple phone and an Apple computer. This is supposed to be an advertisement. Does anyone else find this funny? Is this a touchscreen? No. We're being promised this ecosystem with a cell phone and a pair of headphones. And we don't know how long it's going to take to get these products to market, but it's not unlikely for some of the products in this ecosystem to be old or obsolete by the time they launch their other products for this ecosystem. And that's before I start talking about the Nothing Phone 1. So let's talk about the Nothing Phone 1. What we know about the Nothing Phone 1 is that's going to be getting powered by a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. It's a mid-price SoC. It's a little bit better than the Snapdragon 778, so you can expect performance around a Snapdragon 845, Snapdragon 855 for certain processes, and for other stuff a little bit worse. And it looks like a iPhone 12 with some LEDs on the back and a red recording light. Now, I think this is cool, right? I like that this is a new, unique design, and I think that it's pretty cool. I reviewed the Nothing launcher prior to that, and then the Nothing launcher was just like an Android open source launcher. When MKBHD did his hands-on with the Nothing Phone 1, we could see that the lock screen of it just looked like Android open source. And depending upon what the price point that this device is going to come in at, you're looking to spend anywhere between $400 on the low end to a lot of people are saying $500 to $600 for what is essentially a Google Pixel with possibly worse cameras and a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. It's also worth remembering that the Essential Phone by Andy Rubin was really supposed to be about giving users the pure stock Android experience. And while I think that's a great thing, we have the Google Pixel 6a that's coming out, and that's going to have the same Tensor SoC as we currently have. So that's automatically going to make it a more performance or a higher performance SoC than the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. It's also worth noting that with the ethos behind the original Essential Phone, the Essential Phone was supposed to be pure stock Android. So in order for Carl Pei to implement this ecosystem, there's going to have to be things built into the software, obviously diluting it from being pure stock Android. I find this all really, really confusing because if Carl Pei and Nothing want to release tablets or computers, all of these implementations for this ecosystem have to come in the form of software. And they have to have things built on top of the software, which would then not make it pure stock vanilla Android. And if we look at the history of what Carl Pei did at OnePlus, it started out as a custom ROM with many aspects of pure stock Android with some tweaks, and then it later turned into ColorOS 12. And I don't know how, as a company, you are going to differentiate yourself in a market when we already have the Google Pixel line of devices. And if you are offering a ecosystem with a laptop that's going to just be software on top of Microsoft Windows. If you are going to be offering a tablet, it's going to be some type of skin on top of stock Android or something similar to stock Android. So does this mean that Carl Pei is going to be trying to launch his own made with Google line of things to integrate all of these things into the ecosystem, or is he going to be utilizing what we already have within the Android space and then creating software for tablets and for computers as a layer on top of that? I think that this whole predicament that he's building, that he's creating, this hype train, is going to get a lot of people really disappointed, because I think that as a brand, you want to under-promise and over-deliver and then leave your customers extremely happy and satisfied. He is over-promising and we haven't gotten our first phone yet. So if you're buying a Nothing Phone 1 right now for the ecosystem, you are not going to have much of or any ecosystem to speak of outside of what we currently have with Android. I would love to see Nothing create an ecosystem, but I think that for people that are early adopters, for people that are wanting to buy this now, it's just a little bit too soon, especially when we have established ecosystems like Samsung, which are already doing a lot of the same thing that Apple does, and Samsung does it really well.